Hey, everybody, this is the Ads with the Twang podcast. I'm your host, Ben Blackman. And on this episode, we're going to talk about whether or not you should run Facebook ads to grow your podcast. Here comes episode 124. The Ads with the Twang podcast is dedicated to helping you create simple, successful ads and use smart strategies to grow your online business. I think you're going to love this. Let's get started. All right, welcome everybody to episode 124, and we're talking about whether or not you should run Facebook ads or any kind of ads really to grow your podcast. So I wanted to do this because, well, for a couple of reasons. One is that if you have a podcast and nobody's seeing it or you need more subscribers, what are you going to do? Like, you have to have a plan there, right? Or if you don't just put out a podcast and not have a plan. So what's the purpose? And a lot of my clients will do this who have podcasts. They'll say, hey, Ben, let's run ads to the podcast. And here's my thoughts about that. And I have a fair amount of data around this. So when you run ads to your podcast episodes, the problem is you don't have any way to track it. You don't know. You don't know how many subscribers you got. You don't know how many people listened. You don't know how many downloads. You don't know anything. Specifically from the ad. It's all anecdotal. You don't know. And that's frustrating because you can't turn around and look at the data and say, this ad brought me in 10 subscribers or whatever the numbers are. You just can't see that. The CPMs, which is how you get charged for your ads. So CPMs means cost per 1,000 impressions. It's called cost per mils. But anyway, that's how you get charged for your ads. Well, those numbers are really low. So a lot of times your clicks are really low, like you get a really low cost per click and stuff, and all that looks really great. But again, how many people actually subscribe to your podcast? And so that part can be very frustrating. You're kind of flying blind without any data. And so you might be thinking, well, okay, Ben, so if I can't tell how many people, subscribe or, now, downloaded or listened or whatever, why would I want to run ads to my podcast? Well, let me just say this first. So one thing that we do know is that if you're a coach and you're taking sales calls and that kind of thing, if somebody says that they listen to your podcast, they're buying. Period. I mean, it is you're going to have to screw that up for them to not buy, unless they're not a good fit for you, like you don't want them. Because if somebody says they listen to your podcast, they are ready to go. And that's the benefit of the podcast. Now, bear in mind, you still have to get them to the podcast. They have to listen to it. But when they do, man, they are in. These are the best leads, some of the best leads you'll ever get because there's going to be no barrier. They already know what they need to know about you. The podcast established the trust. So the challenge is that running cold traffic, again, they may not listen to the podcast episode. So is that the best area to focus your dollars from an ad standpoint to get people to listen to it? And the answer is likely no. So what you really want to do is podcast would be part of your email sequences and so forth, but part of your retargeting. So if you're not doing a promotion, like you're doing a launch or some other kind of promotion or something, and you're running retargeting ads to that, then you might want to just continuously run retargeting ads to your podcast episodes. And low cost, right? You don't want to beat them up with it. You just want to, keep it going so that they're aware. And you can run carousel ads so that they can see, like 5 podcast episodes. Like you could have just those right there so they can choose one instead of, trying to just force them into one. And that is helpful. But again, you cannot measure it. So you just have to be okay with the fact that it's working, but you may never know exactly how well it's working. And some marketing's just like that. You just have to know, that it's working or it's not. I have that with one of my clients who's an extremely data-driven person. And we run an ad. This is actually a Google ad. It's called a Performance Max ad or whatever it's called now. And those Performance Max ads, it goes to a blog post. Now, we know that when we turn that ad off, sales go down. And we know when we keep it going, sales go up. but we can't track one to the other. Like we don't know the exact numbers of how that's working. So it will happen that way sometimes, and that can be frustrating. But if you're okay with that and you have the budget for it, again, you've got to have the budget. Don't do any ads unless you've already budgeted for it. Then I would do that. Keep it low cost, $5 a day or less, $2 a day, whatever it is. Run retargeting ads to your podcast. That would be okay. All right. Hopefully that made sense and answered your question on whether or not to run ads to your podcast. If you would, I would love it if you subscribed or left me a review. Would love that. And if you're struggling with, with a lead magnet and you want to know how to take and build a lead magnet and turn it into your first 1K or next 1K, click the link below in the description, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. All right. I'll catch y'all on episode 125. Thanks for listening to the Ads with the Twang podcast. If you get a second, jump on over to my YouTube channel, Marketing with the Twang, and subscribe. You'll get all kinds of no BS business building help there. I'll see you next time.